Coming up next on Arizona Horizon, a new report shows why valley cities need to cooperate to maintain water supplies. We'll learn about efforts to ensure proper emergency preparedness, and we'll check out some winners of Arizona Forward's Environmental Excellence Awards. Those stories next on Arizona Horizon.
Arizona Horizon is made possible by contributions from the Friends of Eight, members of your Arizona PBS station. Thank you.
Good evening and welcome to Arizona Horizon. I'm Ted Simons. Maricopa County Sheriff Joe Arpaio lost a bid today to disqualify the federal judge who is presiding over a racial profiling case against the Sheriff's Department. Arpaio wanted Judge Murray Snow disqualified because of an alleged conflict of interest. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals today also denied the sheriff's request to postpone his contempt of court hearings, and they're set for next week. And the Superintendent of Public Instruction, Diane Douglas, did not attend a State Board of Education meeting today. Douglas says she didn't show because the board's president has turned the meetings into, quote, spectacles and is, quote, unable to control his temper at any disagreement. Today's meeting included a unanimous vote to pursue any necessary legal action against Douglas to keep her from interfering with how board employees do their jobs. Tonight's edition of Arizona Sustainability looks at a new report on the need for Arizona communities to work together to protect water supplies, especially in times of drought and looming water shortages. Ben Ruddle of ASU's Polytechnic School wrote the research paper, and he joins us now. Welcome to Arizona Horizon.
Thanks for having me, Ted.
So what did your report actually look at?
Well, we've just finished mapping the water footprint for the United States. And what this tells us is the direct and the indirect water use for every person and business in the United States. So your direct water use would be like when you take a shower in the morning. Indirect would be when you buy almonds from California, for example. And it's those indirect connections that are the really interesting and important ones. For example, because we now know what your exposure is to the California drought. But the big part of the story is actually the local connections. Our strongest hidden connections in that water footprint are between one local city and community and another.
That's interesting. So in other words, along with mapping the footprint, you're kind of mapping the virtual trade of all these communities? Is that accurate?
That's right. It's called virtual water, and that is your outsourced water use. It's real water that someone used on your behalf somewhere else. So you paid them to do it. And that also creates an impact on those water supplies in a distant location.
Now you're talking about how people have to communicate and have to cooperate in the whole 9 yards. The report, what did you find as far as that cooperation and what still needs to be done? Right.
So every time we do business with each other, we're actually sharing and trading in this virtual water. We create these connections when we do these transactions. Some of the most important transactions in terms of water are the ones that use the most water. Around here in southwestern United States regions, those are your residential homes and the labor that you and I bring to the office with us. That's supported by our bedroom communities. Also food. So if you like eating locally produced food from Arizona or Yuma lettuce or something, you're using water. And so these create these strong connections. It turns out that those bedroom communities and those farming communities on the periphery of the Phoenix metro send more of this virtual water into town, into those core communities, than those core communities send back out. So there's a net dependency and there's a net shifting of the water resources.
Does that suggest that some of these exurban communities, for lack of a better term, are not necessarily a bad thing?
Not only are they not a bad thing, but if you live in Phoenix or Scottsdale or you run a business in these core communities, even though you're in an old established community that has really abundant water rights, senior water rights, and might be insulated from a drought, you're actually dependent on these newer fringe communities. And if they suffer impacts from a drought, from water supply shortage, you're going to feel it through your economic supply chain. So there's a vulnerability there.
So, and also, I guess when you talk about Yuma and you talk about California, when they get hit, you get hit.
That's right. It's a threat to sustainability.
If California winds up having to use more water, it sounds like it's a California problem, but what you're saying is it eventually becomes a me problem.
Yeah, when you can't get your almonds, or when your business or your grocery business has a problem with its supply chain.
So, okay, so it sounds like cooperation is needed among municipalities, states, regions, whatever. When we talk about cooperation, what are we talking about?
Good question. So I can't suggest a specific political solution. We do have a water rights system in Arizona, and that establishes a system of seniorities. So many of the wealthier and larger communities have more senior water rights. So what needs to happen is for there to be a consideration of these connections to make sure that the fringe communities have the water that they need, and that we don't forget about our dependencies on each other during drought. We do need to work together, and that may involve sharing water or coming up with different types of policies.
But the dynamic, a city has a need, and yet a city also should try to prop up or at least support its neighbor. How does that formula work?
It's a tough question. What I can say is that in a time of drought, these questions are going to come to the forefront, and we want to be thinking about them now so that we have a strategy in place. Otherwise, these are going to become election issues, and there's going to be a lot of contentious conversations between the core communities and the fringe communities.
It would sound like diversifying the water chain would be a pretty good idea. Is it a good idea, A, and B, if it is, how do you do it?
Right. So the first thing starts with awareness. We do need to be aware of these indirect connections and vulnerabilities. We need to map them. We need to understand them and how they affect our communities and our businesses. And that's the beginning of better policies and strategies that will allow us to diversify, perhaps to source our water supply chain to more different locations to insulate ourselves against drought.
So as far as people who are coming to the report, they're curious about it, municipal leaders, they're curious about it. What do you want folks to take from this?
Yeah, I really think the spirit of cooperation and the need for us to have these conversations about our shared dependencies is the important take-home point. We should have those conversations now before it becomes a crisis or starts to impact our communities economically.
Do you sense that there is not enough cooperation right now?
I don't know. I think that the community leaders I'm familiar with understand these issues, and I think that we just need to move that conversation a little further down the path.
Now, and one last thing, this is part of a study on urban ecology in the Phoenix area and the Sonoran Desert region. Correct? Talk to us about that overarching study.
Right. So this is a long-term ecological research project, one of several in the nation, and we're fortunate to have one right here in our city. The other big urban studies in Baltimore, and the focus of that research is to understand how social issues, policy, economics, and all of these issues of sustainability work together to cause our socioeconomic ecosystem to function.
So there is a little butterfly effect here. You can think you're sitting pretty because you're getting all the water you need, but if some place relatively close by isn't, it's still going to affect you.
That's right.
All right. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
September is National Preparedness Month, an effort to make sure that plans are in place to keep Americans prepared for any and all emergencies. Joining us now to explain Arizona's goal of increasing emergency preparedness is Wendy Smith-Reeve, Deputy Director of the State Department of Emergency and Military Affairs. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
National Preparedness Month. What's this all about?
The focus for National Preparedness Month is more focusing on citizens and individual preparation for emergencies and events that could occur within your community and affect your family directly.
So as far as Arizona is concerned, what kind of emergencies are we talking about here?
We're talking about flooding is a primary hazard that we face. Wildland fire also impacts a lot of our communities within the state.
And extreme heat, I would imagine,
Yes,
and at times
absolutely.
even extreme cold, I guess.
Power outage.
Exactly,
Exactly.
which I think some folks have gone through here in the past few weeks.
Right.
Okay, so, and I would imagine with El Nino coming, this is a special concern this year.
Yes, it is very special concern. We're comparing it to the winter of 2009-2010. We saw extreme snow in the northern Arizona region and a lot of flooding. We had more than 8 counties impacted as a result of those events from that winter.
And you want folks to be prepared. Okay, how should they be prepared?
4 things we want them to do primarily: have a plan, build a kit, be informed, and inspire others to do the same.
Now, having a plan, I would imagine, means get an evacuation route, make sure everyone knows where a contact is or where a focal point could be, correct?
Correct, correct. So a meeting place, a standard meeting place, having important contact information available to you. Also having an out-of-town contact. Sometimes it's it's easier to reach out to someone out of state.
Yes.
Because the communication channels within the state are compromised.
No, that's a very good idea. As far as building a kit now, when you say build a kit, I see you got a lot of stuff here you brought. Is that part of the kit?
We do. Well, that's what we want you to do, is create a kit with enough non-perishable food and potable water to last your family for at least 72 hours.
Okay.
So that kit is going to be unique to each family, because some families only have 2 adults, some have several children, some have pets, some have elderly family members living within their family, within their home. So ensuring that you're addressing needs for everyone within your family.
Medication, food, obviously, and what we have
Right.
here are containers for the medication and the food, and we have gloves, and we have tools, just basically stuff to get you by.
Right, absolutely. And don't forget, first aid supplies, flashlights, batteries, radio.
And don't forget, what about financial papers, identification, these
Yes.
sorts of things?
Absolutely. So important papers. So if you have to evacuate your home, and then you have those in one place, one location, you can pick it up and go.
Okay, last, I think the 4th one was inspiring others. Talk to us about that.
Inspiring others. So inspiring others within your family, within your community, to ensure that they are also prepared to address any type of situation, so they're safe as well.
And I know you have a PR campaign. It doesn't take a genius.
Yes, it doesn't take a genius to prepare for an emergency, only the smarts to know that you should. So you don't have to be a survival expert. You don't have to spend a lot of money to make a plan, build a kit, be informed, and inspire others.
And most of the things that you brought on set here, these are things that can hold for a while, correct?
Absolutely.
You can be planning for Armageddon tomorrow, but if it doesn't happen tomorrow, you can still hold on to this stuff, and if
Right.
an emergency happens in a year or 2, this stuff will still be applicable.
Yes, absolutely.
You also have some sort of, what's this emergency kit cook-off campaign?
So this is our 5th year for the Emergency Kit Cook-Off campaign, and so we always do it surrounding Preparedness Month as a fun way to inspire people to be prepared. And so with that Emergency Kit Cook-Off, we ask people to submit recipes using non-perishable foods that they have in their kit. And those recipes, tasty recipes that you can use, and of course making it to where you can create the recipe without the use of certain luxuries, such as power.
Yes.
So you don't want to be able to use a microwave or something like that. So what can you do to use those non-perishable items and create a creative recipe? And this year we're working with NASA.
Oh.
Yes. So the recipes, they're willing to test out several of the recipes on their astronauts to see what would be most tasty for them when they're up in space.
Does that suggest that some of the featured ingredients among them would be Tang?
Tang is a featured ingredient. Yes, it is, actually.
It has to be if it's
yes.
well, what are some of the other ingredients?
Some of the other ingredients, I brought my notes so I didn't forget, black beans, Tang, dried fruit, honey, and freeze-dried eggs. Those are the 5 featured ingredients, but we also ask you to utilize anything else that you have within your emergency kit to build your recipe.
Which is a fun way, again, to get you in the mood and get
Right.
you in the mode and get you figured out that this is something to keep in
Right.
mind. And okay, bottom line, what do people need to know? I know we have the 4 categories there, but just overall, what do we need to know?
You need to know where to go find the information, who to contact, who to know, and how to get yourself educated prior to an event. So Red Cross, Salvation Army, they have programs that can support you in helping you understand what to do. Knowing who your local and county emergency managers are within your community. They're the ones that are going to be coming to support you and your community following an event.
Yes, be aware of all alternatives, options, and information. It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
It's considered the Academy Awards of the environmental community. It's Arizona Forward's annual Environmental Excellence Awards, and it was held this past weekend in Phoenix. Here to show us some of the big winners, Diane Brossart, President and CEO of Arizona Forward. Good to see you again.
You as well.
How's it going?
It's going great. You did a fabulous job Saturday night.
Well, thank you very much.
As
I say every time when I host this thing, it's such a joy because everything that is presented is positive, and everything that is presented makes you proud of Arizona.
It's very inspiring. I think it's the most inspiring thing we do. And this year, the first year completely statewide with all the categories, we had entries from literally all over the state of Arizona, 18 of which were outside of Maricopa County, where this program has had its roots. This is the 35th year of the program. So we were really excited.
And most people, again, know of Valley Forward, but Valley Forward is now Arizona Forward.
It is. In 2012, we we got a new name and a new logo and new bylaws, new board.
But you kept the award as a Crescordia, which I think we always need to kind of let people know what a Crescordia is.
Crescordia is a Greek term, and it means to grow in harmony. So we're looking at projects that balance economic growth and environmental quality, or the built and natural environment, if you will.
And who can enter? Who's judging?
Anybody can enter. We select a panel of jurists for their expertise in each of the award categories, which range from buildings and structures to site development, environmental stewardship, art, media. There's a range of categories. So there was a panel of 9. Steve Zalesnow, the president and CEO of Arizona Community Foundation, was our lead judge this year, and he did a fabulous job. It was a hard choice. We had over 125 entries this year, so it was tough.
Well, let's get to some of the winners. The big winner was this streetcar down in Tucson. Talk to us about
Very
this.
exciting to see Tucson rise to the top of the program with their streetcar project, and it is as important for moving people around as it is for the environment, because it's low emissions, but also the economic development, the development that occurs around those stations. I understand they have 15 new housing units and tons of restaurants that have opened up around there. It's the first Made in America streetcar in 60 years, so lots of firsts with it. It has revitalized downtown.
And that
really has.
Now that was basically the president. That's the Best in Show award.
Best of Show award, yeah.
Okay, so let's get to now some of the other big winners down there. Team Arizona Colorado River shortage, drought, preparedness. What's this all about?
Well, I was listening to your last guest before the one before I talk about water, so it's especially relevant. And I think you heard Arizona's a leader in water management. You know, we're not in the same situation that California finds itself, but the drought is in its 17th year, and if there is a shortage of Colorado River water, our state's entitlement is going to be the first to get cut. So instead of waiting to see what happens, our water providers and leaders have stored nearly 3.5 million acre-feet of Colorado River underground in basins, and they can retrieve that if they need to. So it was a partnership of Central Arizona Project, the Department of Arizona Water Resources, the Water Banking Authority, and the Bureau of Reclamation, all working together collaboratively to ensure that Arizona has a good supply in the future, regardless of the drought.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. And our governor, you know, is going to Israel soon to meet with leaders there, another water leader. I think that's really impressive. And Arizonans need to be aware of these issues and invested in them.
Okay. We have another winner at the Mariposa Land Port of Entry. This is what is it? Talk to us about this.
This is a Jones Studio project, and it's incredible. The entry in Nogales is one of the busiest and oldest ports in the United States, and it processes more than 2.8 million northbound vehicles each year. It was built in the 70s. It needed modernization and expansion. There was growth in international trade and vehicle volumes, and so they completely redid this port of entry, LEED Gold certified, 55-acre site, and it welcomes people on both sides of the border. It's
absolutely
phenomenal.
Yes,
yeah,
it really
it's connected
is nice.
by a garden that runs all the way through it, so it's beautiful. You know, one of the hallmarks of Jones Studio development is that buildings could be beautiful and should be beautiful.
Well, that's absolutely the port of entry. My goodness. All right, U of A's Old Main Restoration won an award. What's this all about?
This is a historic preservation award. I did not know this. Maybe you knew this. Well, you learned it Saturday night. This is one of the first buildings it is the first building, Old Main, on the campus of U of A. It opened in 1891, and my understanding is it looked every bit of its 124 years. So it needed preserving and restoring, and they did it in a very sensitive way to maintain the historic features, leaving the existing envelope intact and using as many of Old Main's features as possible. It's the oldest LEED certified building in the state of Arizona, and it's a model for sustainable historic preservation.
It reminds me of the renovation at ASU. Old Main at ASU.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the same thing. These older buildings, you got to take care of them. You got to love them. And
yeah.
Sounds like this one's been loved very well. Okay, Museum of Northern Arizona, the Easton Collection Center. What did this win for?
We're heading north now for the real. This is an amazing project. It houses the museum's precious objects. So it's really an important building for what it does. And they have a spectacular living roof you can see on top with native plants, that colorful lobby floors made of locally sourced concrete. It's sustainable, it's beautiful, photovoltaic solar panels on it, and all of the resources were from Coconino County. Another cool thing about this building, and this is LEED Platinum, which is a pretty high level of certification. They had a Native American Indian Advisory Committee that gave recommendations, and Kinney Construction Services that did the project integrated a lot of those recommendations. So the facility has several symbolic and functional elements that are designed to make the Native American community feel at home in the structure.
And
beautiful.
Also, nicely designed and obviously very efficient. Solar thermal hot air technology was a winner as well.
It is, and unlike the Valley where it's warm and toasty year-round, the Northern Arizona has real winters, so bone-chilling winters there, and they have their share of heating bills. So this is a cost-effective solar thermal air panels that were developed by NAU, Northern Arizona University, and Solar Thermix, and it's changing the way some homes and businesses heat the indoor air. Don't ask me the technical side of this, however, I will tell you that renewable energy like solar and wind can reduce net electricity use. Options for directly reducing fossil fuels are more limited. So this has great potential on a larger scale. It was a really neat project. And the solar heaters for northern Arizona's Native American community. They have 18,000 homes there without power.
Oh my goodness,
so
yeah.
this could be a really good thing.
You know, I think the biggest applause of the night went to this next one, which may be the last one we get to, but it's the Arizona Trail Association's gift to Arizona. Folks love hiking trails, and this is great stuff.
This is an amazing project, and it was 30 years in the making. It encompasses 800 breathtaking miles of environmental excellence that's protected actually by an act of Congress, and it's now complete and open to anyone who wants to enjoy Arizona's biodiverse environment. It was I learned this through the program. I learned all kinds of stuff. It's really fun. Dale Shewalter, a Flagstaff educator, wanted Arizonans to learn about the environment and thought the outdoor classroom was the best tool and technique. It took thousands of people to build this trail. It's the largest volunteer project in the history of Arizona. It's just totally amazing. It goes from Mexico to Utah.
Yeah, the Arizona Trail. Hey, before you go, it seems like every year, it's amazing. There are innovative projects every year. Things are happening out there.
And we all need to take a look at that and feel good about it, because so often we talk about what's wrong with Arizona, and there's a lot right about it. We are a leader in sustainable design, and we should all be very proud of that.
Well, congratulations. It was a great show. I thought the host did an amazing job.
He got rave reviews,
even though he almost fell on his face.
600 people
600
there.
folks, and it was a beautiful event and a wonderful location, and just congratulations once again, and good luck finding stuff next year. I'm sure you'll find it.
I have to say, we couldn't do it without the outstanding support of SRP.
All right, thank you very much. All right, that is it for now. I'm Ted Simons. Thank you so much for joining us. You have a great evening.